All right. Greetings, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. I said I had I had one more one-nighter from Dallas, so I might as well burn that pretty early on here. Um, we're going to be covering the final bit for my 2007 conference in Dallas. Previously in my archive, or if you were here for the live broadcasts, we covered TRE, Dallas Heavy Rail, basically. Sorry, not Heavy Rail, the McKinney Avenue Trolley, and then this is the page devoted to DART stuff. Of the categories, this is the smallest. Although I did ride a good amount of the existing DART territory at the time. In 2007, DART only had the red and the blue line that had been operating since the 1990s, and it did technically have part of the green line, but it only went to the Victory Station by the arena where the Mavericks and the Stars play. The orange and green lines, orange being pretty much to the airport, with being commingled with the red, and then the green line in its entirety going out to I forget where, Denton, or it connects with the Denton line, Deep Ellum, and that the Buckner. Those didn't come around until 2010 or so. So it's just interesting of how much DART has changed in the last few in the last little over a decade. Anyway. Like I mentioned before, I don't do this much anymore, but in 2007, I thought as my camera capacity was growing, I thought it would be for some of these trips that had way more photos than I used to be able to take. I thought it was a clever idea to break them up by category, even not instead of chronologically, and that turned out to not be a great strategy. So if there's any point in time where I realized I have something in the wrong category, and I have to deal with it or not, just be aware of that. So first off, we are starting at Pearl Street. Now, the hotel I was in was an Adams Mark. It's a Sheraton. It's one of the larger hotels in downtown Dallas. Although, I didn't set my map up yet. Let's see where we are. I usually set this up before the stream starts, and I sort of forgot to. Oh, okay. We're still in the Dallas zone. It looks like the sprawl capital of maybe Houston is technically more sprawly. The base of now I forget what hotel I was staying in. I can't remember if I was actually staying in the conference hotel, if I was staying in a satellite hotel. My place is generally, I don't work for a ritzy employer, so now where was that? It's on, but wherever I stayed, the conference was in what is today a Sheraton. I'm just trying to locate it in the quite a bit more revitalized downtown. Okay, there we are. There it is, the Sheraton Dallas. So it's basically Dallas is sort of. So I guess Dallas does have a convention center, but this is sort of your quintessential convention center hotel. It has 3 tower blocks and a convention hall attached, and is right along the light rail avenue. This is like a Howard Street in Baltimore, but unlike Howard Street, it's completely reserved for light rail traffic. I think maybe not all of its length, but I think it is. Which is a nice to have. Howard Street, although it's mainly reserved for light rail, does have some vehicle traffic on it. It's not a big deal, but it's one more variable, especially with light timings. So, for those of you, anyway, just to orient you, there's the Sheridan, which was then an Adams Mark. You can see it's connected to via sky bridges to both a Marriott and some other office building. I think that there's a food court in one of those. And the place that we're looking at is the Pearl Arts District station. And so that's just a basic, where we're starting this off. So the hotel is off to the right, and this is the Pearl Arts District station. I've been there recently, and a lot of these trees are no longer around. Another thing that I put in the description is that this was before DART's 2010 era capacity expansion, where they got Kinky Sharo, or whatever they pronounce it, to upgrade their LRVs into what they call the Super LRV, where they added a third ADA car in the middle. So I can't remember. Something tells me that DART wants to tell me that DART was pre-ADA, but I don't think it was. Actually, I can just go look here. It's Blue Line. I think it was built in the mid-90s. But, yeah, so it was built post-ADA. However they did that. So, I don't know how they did... they had mini-highs. And now the mini-highs are gone. Okay, so that's what DART did. So when like Baltimore, when it was constructed, all the stations had mini highs, and there'd be a high level boarding platform, sort of doohickey. If someone needed to use the thing. So what DART went around and did do subsequently was they. When they upgraded the LRVs, they added a brand new ADA compliant center section with a low boarding. So both the end cars have high boarding, and the middle one has platform, low level, like 18-inch platform level boarding. So it was a good way to get that capability without having to sacrifice the ride experience, or that other thing. Or have to buy new rolling stock. So I hit this in the last thing. This is one of those cool rolling granite balls. But I just want one sec. I took a picture of that the last time because there's a name for it. I just need to go look up the name. Chicago CTA. Where is it? There it is. It's going to be in here somewhere. Because I had two photos of it, and I think I dumped one in this one. And there it is. Yeah. So I'm not sure when these. I guess I'm not sure if this went in the 90s. But this is a thing using the power of hydraulics that. Granite sphere rotates on a thin thing of liquid, so you can actually spin it. It's pretty cool. It's just one of those like clever kinetic sculptures that exist, that were more popular than they are today. Definitely has an 80s vibe to it. I think there was some guy that was well known for making them, and then they became a little bit of a commodity. So another interesting thing about this point in time was that the Dallas High School building, which is pretty neat to have a downtown high schoolish type building that has that mid-America Johnny Everytown high school look. typically you think of a downtown high school, it's a giant brick or concrete box. But this one in 2007 was, oops, that's not good. It sort of was all boarded up. As you can see, at some point since then, if I can find a thing, so it's still boarded up in 2015, and then by 2018 it had been completely renovated. And I'm not sure what's in there now, but it's definitely looking a lot nicer than it was in the photo here, with plywood over all the entrances. Just shows you the general downtown revitalization. A lot of those urbanist types that will go on and on about, oh, why did we destroy these downtowns? Didn't realize that the downtowns they were talking about were all boarded up. It wasn't like, except in rare circumstances, it wasn't like you weren't going through and pulling down prime real estate. That's the thing. These things had all deteriorated to the sense that they were I won't say they were both eyesores and attractive nuisance. This is not only boarded up. You can see, why is there so much green in my photos? Because it's overgrown. Today, all the bushes are gone. But if you again go back to the street view, it's not completely overgrown, but there's definitely stuff around it that's a little bit out of control there. And I think the first step was, where is that? Let's see what. Trying to think if they kept those. Oh, so one of the trees was kept and is still there, but the other trees that were up close to it were not. But they were both trimmed. What the heck? There it goes. Wondering why that wasn't sorting properly. Okay. So another interesting thing about the Dart system is it doesn't use those stupid European Snaffleberg couplers. It looks like it uses... I don't think they're Tomlinson. They might be something that you see in Japan. I know Japan uses both a spear, not a spear type, but something that uses Tomlinson and things that look like Tomlinson. Tomlinson being currently the most popular one in North America, used on NYC. Most of the stuff on NYC subway, DC Metro, Philly, etc. That's strange. Another thing that makes this look very 80s is just that use of paving brick. That was definitely, and you'll see the lamp fixtures a lot of the times here are the sort of the 80s. It's hard to describe them. It's like a light bulb inside a larger clear glass spherical envelope. They're big in malls. You see a lot of that around the Dart stations too. So it's almost just like it's sort of 10 years behind the times, getting built in the 1990s. Here we have the what is then the downtown Adams Mark Hotel. This is now a Sheraton. I think in general the Adams Mark brand went away. Philadelphia used to have one. It got turned into a Target out on City Line Avenue, but it was not like a local hotel that only had one. It was clearly, it's a chain. So the demise of Adams Mark, I don't think, was limited to just the one in Philadelphia. today this is the thing that you go to for like your anime cons and your comic stuff. The things that can't really get into, things that can't really afford the convention center. It also offers on-site. So I was there for a very low-cost industry. I won't even say industry. It was just it wasn't great. It was a type of conference where it didn't have money and it didn't attract a lot of people with money. And it's one of those things that could probably be an email today. But I went. So hold on, let me talk about this signal here. And this unfortunately blurry photo. Here's one from quite a bit later. Anyway, for people who regularly read my signaling blog, know what is this? That Dart is fascinating in that it basically runs 3 distinct signaling methods in one group. The first 2 were present when it was built in the 90s, and then later they've moved to audio frequency coded track circuits with cab signals and little arrows, but they didn't change the other parts of it, which is just wild. So the other ones use fixed ATS type systems. It also uses New York City subway signaling, if you can believe it. So green over green for straight, green over yellow for diverging, diverging clear, yellow over green. Wait, hold on. Which one's which? No, I think, wait. Yellow over green would be approach, and yellow over yellow is diverging approach. So the lower signal gives route, diverging or straight, and the upper signal gives block occupancy. New York City subway does that. But I don't know of any others. Also, you have your straight route speed is 30 miles an hour. Your diverging route speed is 20. This is at the Mockingbird station, by the way. That's, I think, named after... actually, I'm not sure. I was thinking it was like they had something to do with Lady Bird Johnson, but no, I don't think so. So apparently, I think I caught whatever. This is the Mockingbird station is at the far end of the Dallas Transit Tunnel. So trains departing, most trains departing downtown Dallas, except for Green Line, will move into a tunnel underneath I-35, or at least what I think is I-35. I-345. My bad. So they will move into so the green line goes off to the right, and then the red and orange will continue under a point under I-35 or near it, emerging quite a bit out there. So there's one intermediate stop, and then there is at City Place. We talked about that on the McKinney Avenue, and the other one is here at Mockingbird, and then it moves into a more standard suburban traffic pattern. So that's sort of this express zone that jets you right to the edge of downtown. Another thing that I want to point out that I think I'll get to at some point, but it took me a while to notice, is that, where is this? There's the Sheridan. When, again, at the point that I went there, the Green Line kind of didn't exist. I think it existed. It might have existed to the point that you could get to the yard. So there's the yard. So this bit here might have been built by then, but it was only for yard moves. But you can see here that there was also a different alignment, that the light rail line would make two 90-degree curves before reaching the transit tunnel. At some point, they eminent domained the land and built a new approach to it. So you can still see the right-of-way along with the brick and what appears to be an abandoned station, which is pretty neat that they have there's an abandoned station. I should go up there next time I'm in Dallas. No, wait, that's not a station. It just had walkways on either side of it. It just looks like a station. And then you can then see the approach ramp there, and it would go down in the ramp there. But anyway, they to increase the speeds, they eminent domain whatever land was there. But we'll see if we pick up on that later. Now, hopefully, I am planning to do all this tonight, but it might be a little bit long. So hopefully, we'll see if I can put the pedal to the metal here. But most of these are pretty well dealt with. Another thing to look at, that some of the trains still have these, some of them do not, is that they have analog destination roll signs. They are literal roll signs. There's a roll of destinations, and you can see them change. It just sort of rolls it like a player piano type of thing. So you also might be wondering why, even with the lines that like red and blue, like why does it say like downtown Garland instead of Rowlett? That's because the line got extended. So even the existing lines saw extensions that opened in the 2010s. Although I'm sure it may have changed recently, as much as Texas is known for being a anti-government tax haven. It kind of isn't. Compared to a lot of southern states, Texas actually has both a bunch of taxes, has a lot of special taxing districts, and a lot of governmental power has like reasonable an amount of regulation to it. So the Dallas area transit district is its own thing. I think they're probably funded by a sales tax. So here's just the other signal at Mockingbird, which I think goes by the designation of KN interlocking. I'm not sure what that stands for. I'm sure if I looked at the map enough, you could figure it out. And this is the inbound track. It's pretty. The cut is pretty impressive. I mean, there's some infrastructure here. There's your ATS system. It's that coil and that little lump. I'm not sure exactly how the ATS works, but it's going to be some sort of a frequency or an induction or a magnetic polarization. So because they're light rail vehicles, they're going to have track brakes, so they don't really need much of an overlap. One second. So yeah, the approach light, all the signals are approach lit. So unfortunately, that limits the sort of photos you can get, except if there's literally like a train standing there. And just also, this is a cool example. It was signaled by Union Switch and Signal, and it's one of the rare uses of the USNS modular color light. This is sort of like the Safe Train ones. It looks like a scallop, or the GRS Type Ds, or I think it's Type D. And the most wild thing imaginable, they decided to build their mast entirely out of these modular signal heads. So that's a real one for the call-on. Then there's an inert one, 3 more, an inert one, and then 3 more. So there you go. That's neat. Also, you can tell that this uses, what is it? Yeah, so it uses standard track circuits. That you would see like with coded or just so for the audio frequency things, the bonds would be much smaller. These are fairly beefy bonds, impedance bonds. These are the things that allow the traction current to pass, but not the signal, the track circuit. So it's going to be an AC track circuit with DC traction power. All right. I gotta get next time I'm in town. I gotta get out to more of these locations again. All right, that's our first round is finished. Probably going to be an extra round today, so again, prepare for a little bit of overtime. Let's see if we have any questions here. I think that some of them don't, but I'm not sure. I could have sworn that some of the darts have LED destination signs now. Yeah, I'm sure. I think they have a regional funding scheme, but because where you leave the Dallas, where they have areas, Texas does believe a lot in local control. So if you don't want to, pay for a thing, you don't have to. Okay, that's the 3 switch. So what I'm doing is I'm clearly waiting for I think I'm going to, yeah, so you saw that I didn't get on the blue line train. So I am on my way actually to the red line terminus at Parker Road. Where was that? There it is. Somewhere I had that. There it is. Red line. Yeah, Parker Road opened in 2002. Okay, so the red line has actually been unaltered since it was finished in the early 2000s. Although a lot of it is, it did gain additional service frequency by being conjoined with the orange line for its northern component. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be the 4N signal. So it's nice. These are fairly easy to reverse engineer the naming for. The signals have number plates with what I assume is the interlocking name and their designation. It uses it uses the sort of typical where it's a signal number with a direction. So N north, S south. That's not quite like the NEC where they use a track-based designation. But it is something I've seen a lot with Union Switch and Signal on like the SEPTA Route 100 uses the same scheme, and that's USNS as well about the same time. Now, the one thing that's a little difficult is unless you see what the signals are before you get to them. I don't know what those two are, although I might have them. I did pull up a more recent trip. See, I'm not sure I got because if I wasn't paying attention when the train went the opposite direction. I might have missed them because they're asymmetric. So you're going to have a 4N, a 2N, a 2S, a 4N, a 4S, and then a 6 and an 8. And I don't know which ones the 6 and the 8 are. They could be on either of the leg, although I suspect that it's going to be on the diverging route. So I'm going to go with that, actually. And I'll make that assumption. If I'm wrong, whatever. Look at that grade there. Also, just shows what these LRVs are asked to negotiate. It's 6S and 8S, not N. So, yeah, this is Parker Road. They did kind of build this with expansion in mind. You can sort of see. There's someone explained to me that there's a common mistake. Well, I won't say it's a mistake, but it's sort of a design. You're asking for trouble. If you go and you end your rail line with a catenary pole right plopped in the middle and at the end of the track. I think they actually did. Maybe they did that here. I just can't see it. As opposed to there are ways that you can have it sort of trail off. So if you ever extend the line, you don't have to go and tear down that catenary pole. Here they have a bagged signal for whatever reason. Let's go and try to find Parker Road. So another interesting thing is that this is going to connect with that silver line, which is not going to be electric LRV. That's going to be a Tex rail type of thing. Where the heck's Parker Road? Nope, that's it. It's definitely Dart there. Oh, I bet that's it right there. There it is. Yeah, so I guess they did put the posts at the end if they ever need to have to move them. But as you can see, the right-of-way... Dart, apparently Dallas did a lot with buying right-of-ways. So if they wanted to extend this, they clearly could up to a point. Yeah, there's always this little bitty moldery railroad track that's cut at all the crossings. Again, that's because Dallas bought all the right-of-ways. So if they could just... they can just roll in here and then extend that all the way to the new edge of the sprawl. Parker Road is an aptonym in that it's definitely there. It definitely features quite a bit of parking. Just trying to see what I can. Nah, I can't get in there. There it goes. More Parker Road. I would normally try to identify which track this is, but I'm going to just write over the original file name. You can find, I don't know where it is, I've downloaded it somewhere, but I don't think I have it on this machine. I was able to find the Dart rulebook. It was available on some public records website, and that has all the signal rules and other stuff in it. It's very, very useful. Very useful thing. You can also find the TRE PTC improvement plan or implementation plan. That has a lot of good stuff on there. Interlockings. I used that in my previous session. For those of you who are here after Christmas. So I want to say that looks like a Tomlinson coupler, but that hook is different. But I think that's a very Japanese. I said it's one of those cross imports that they probably grabbed they probably were inspired by our Tomlinson design, and then we've re-imported it back, kind of like Star Trek conventions or cosplay. Here we have LRV number 131. An interesting thing is just how much they made those mini highs vanish. I mean, it's been 10 years, but you would go there today, and there's just no trace of anything that resembles a mini high, which is just very, it's just interesting of how they, it's. I guess that's what I figured that would have been an annoyance, but if Baltimore does the stupid low floor thing, they will probably go the same. It's not that much of an issue to get rid of all the mini highs. At this point, I need to quick refer to how I do Dart signals. Oh, so the signals also prefix with all of their lines. So sorry about that. So the P is for probably the Parker Road line. And then you can see the impedance bonds for it and the ATS inductor, the fixed ATS inductor. The block signals are three lamp. They don't do an approach diverging. You think you just get an approach into the signal. So this is going to be signal P2142. P2142. Reverse direction signals seem to have an R suffix on them for, I guess, reverse. I've seen this sign at other places. It is cute that it has the traditional sort of European style two-bogie tram on it. It's very cute. And you got some nice public sculpture there. Whoop. Where's my public sculpture? Did I cut it? Oh, looks like I did. Well, I'm not going to cut it now. Yeah, these are cute. I mean, they're nice to keep the local artisans employed with projects. There we go. Yeah, I probably just cut it because it was backlit. But it's fine. And here we have LRV number 116. They built a whole bunch of these. I don't think that they... I'm not sure if they've got new ones or just did that expansion or the capacity improvement project. But I've seen them get into like the 200s. So they have quite a few of these LRVs ready to go. That would be a shame if Siemens is left to control the entire North American market for LRVs. Another interesting thing is they have a speed control signal there, I think. That lunar white. Again, very New York City subway-y. Now, I need to refer to my 2000 whatever. So this is interesting. Yeah, this is labeled as bird interlocking. And this is the switch again to USNS transit type signals. You can tell those USNS ones because the transit type signal has the lens assembly larger than the backing. Like it sort of like looks bug-eyed. It's also neat to see those gates there. I guess in case they have to shut the line. You know, this is Texas, so if they run out of money, they have to shut things down. Oh, hey, we got that half done. Let's see what people are saying about me behind my back. I'm pretty sure that the whatchamacallit, yeah, the A train connects with the newish Green Line extension. Yep, there it is. So that has it going all the way out to here, where I bet the A train takes over. Oh no, just people weren't coloring the stations properly. I just forgot what the northern... There's the green line terminus. Oh, no, that's A train only. Yeah, at some point I'll get around to riding that. Okay, there's Dart Hebron, and what's the end of the green line? There's the A train yard. Sorry about this. I'm just checking real quick. Trying to find where the green line terminus is. Oh, Carrollton. That's it. I was trying to remember what the heck what that roll sign would say, and I couldn't for the life of me remember it. I think this is Carrollton, but the name of the station is Trinity Mills? Nah, it can't be. North Carrollton. That's right. Okay. So again, because I've taken these out of order, it's going to jump around. So yeah, it's clear that I'm leaving downtown to go out to Parker Road, and now I'm back from Parker Road. But sometimes it's going to jump, so just be aware of that. Looks like I get back to so with fewer lines, there was just less for me to do. And by less for me to do, that means I could concentrate on more of these. I could hang out at Mockingbird a little, in my limited amount of time. I could do things like hang out at Mockingbird a little bit. That's an interesting one. Maybe I guess this train was out of service or something. It's just its destination is Dart. Maybe they mean the destination's the Dart yard. That would be technically accurate. So you saw that number 3 switch previously, but that was for KN, and now we're in Bird interlocking. Nope, that looks even worse. Oh, this is a bad angle. Oh, that's better. They're not great, but I think this is better, and I think I can rotate it around a little bit this way. Oh, it's covering up the box. Alright, I'm just going to stick with this. I think I can crop this a little bit. Excuse me. There we go. And let me save some bits for the part that I care about. All right. So if the other one was bird signal 2S, this is probably going to be bird signal 4S. Yep, I got that too. So at least I was clever enough back in the day to reverse engineer a little bit of it. So again, unlike the other one, which was made from those USNS modulars, this one's been constructed from a typical USNS transit type signal. Don't know why they chose maybe this. They just figured this was deeper and had better shade, or I don't know. And here we have the front. Oh, I guess I just read the sign back in the day, but pretty easy to reverse engineer. I think these have already been up. These were already upgraded to LED by 2007. And where are we now? Oh, yeah. So if you remember when I did my previous one, I had those like 50 photos of the Garland crossing. Well, again, I'm reverse engineering my trip from the photos, but it looks like I went out to Parker Road, and as the sun is getting lower and lower, I went back into to Mockingbird, and I came back out on the blue line. Where the end of the line was then downtown Garland, and today it's Rowlett, or however it is. Don't know if they have that Dunton Garland's destination on the sign. I have seen them scroll their signs, but I can't remember. I wasn't paying attention enough to notice all the old routes. Sometimes, like a New York City subway, when they had a lot more roll signs, or any roll signs, you could see like K and H. For a bunch of the alternate routings that those cars were delivered with on the roll sign. Okay, now we're back at Union Station. This is probably almost certainly the next day. Well, hold on. Where is this? Oh, this is the Pearl Street Arts District again. So I guess I just cut this before. So this is 209. And then there's you can see the abandoned Dallas High School in the background there. Yeah, one of the nice things I said is being able to recover a whole bunch of these lost photos. That normally just were rotting on a archive somewhere. So for some reason we're going back to Union Station already, but I'm hitting non-Union Station photos, and I don't know where they're coming from. Okay, there's that Pearl Street one. All right, looks like these things are just really out of order. They were in order, and now they're not in any order. Oops. Here we go. 142 at Olive Street. Olive Street isn't necessarily a station. Usually today I try now to indicate if something's at a station or not just a location. I mean, the location works, but when you have something like this where you have both, this could be at a street or this could be at a station named for a street, I try to put station in the file names when it is actually a station. But like I said, I'm trying to overwrite a whole bunch of the existing file names. in case people have direct linked onto the photos. No, I bet this one I bet this one got junked. Almost certainly. 185. This is also Pearl Street-ish. Go. This is now in the city. This is jumping back to the City Place station. Just a typical, I say typical, like a Madison Square Garden style deep level escalator bank. These the whole thing was deep bored, not cut and covered. Today this would be a way better smartphone photo, but back then I had to use the actual camera, which did all those generations of digital cameras did not like low light conditions at all. Big advantage to today's smartphones is the optimization for low light. And here we are in the City Place station with a mainline signal. By mainline, I mean it's designated M for mainline, I assume. And I was able to get an entire progression here. Although I am going to have to redo the stuff. Another interesting thing with Dart is that while they do effectively kind of you have a little bit of an although it's not intended to be an overlap, you do see some spacing between signals so they can fit the ATS gear on either side of the rail joint, because you have to put the signal in front of the ATS coil. All right, we got another set done. Okay, we got 2 rounds of 10 left. So, let's see what we got going on in the chat. If anyone showed up. Yep. What is that? Oh, it does. Okay, Green Line does go one stop past the A train stop. Interesting. I guess I should. I just didn't notice that when I looked at the thing. All right, we have another picture. So for whatever reason, these weren't approach lit. I don't know why the ones in the tunnel are and the ones on the main line are not, and the ones on the main line are. But it did allow me to get at least some amount of signal photos. I mean, of aspect progression. Not a big deal, but still fun. And the same thing, just with now clear indication. And note, you can see the reverse direction signal is also lit. And speed in the tunnels is the DART maximum speed is 55 miles an hour, and that's what it is in the tunnels. And a little bit closer photo of the DART signal, number 452. Not sure where their chaining 0 is. I bet it's the yard. And you can see the one part of the ATS there. Next. All right, now we're at Union Station. Here we have number 101 coming in. For those you for those you don't know, Union Station is also the Amtrak station, the TRE terminal in downtown Dallas. It is very conveniently located for all your downtown Dallas needs. It's going to be about if you're in the CB. So I guess one issue with it is that a lot of the central business district, up in there, the city center district. Okay, they have all these districts. There's an arts district, although I don't know how arty it is, and then they have a city center district. It's a little bit of a hike from Union Station, although which is right next to the Honorable Richard J. Dealey Plaza, and then of course Union Station is across from the Hyatt Regency Dallas, formerly the Reunion Hotel, which has an observation sphere, and which was also then next. Again, these are all covered in previous things, which was then next to the arena that's been torn down, but the arena's parking that is still there, and then the convention center. It all makes sense when you think about it. Oh yeah, this is. I'm not sure you were here last time. Miles in Transit did a thing where he was taking some bus across the megabus line that was discontinued that went to San Antonio, and he went to Dallas and was like, "Oh no, I'm stuck in this Strodersville and I can't walk downtown and we have to eat gas station food." Apparently, I love him, but I don't mean to throw. I don't mean to throw too much shade. But this is the place where this is the gas station the megabus stopped, and it is 1,074 feet. Well, let me see if he has to actually walk along the road here, cross it and then walk on the road. 1,100 feet from this amazing barbecue place called Hickory House. If you're ever in Dallas and you don't want to have to go wait in a line in Deep Ellum at Pecan House or Paylot, Hickory House Barbecue is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I say barbecue place, it is that it has barbecue, but it has other stuff. It's like a diner. It's like a Jersey diner, but Texas style. So you can go, you get 2 meats and 3 sides and a giant thing, and it's $9. Love it. I walk there from downtown, past the bail bonds places, past the liquor store. 100% worth it. Don't let the roads put you off. Just go down there. So I'm going to plug Hickory House. But again, we're at Union Station. Note, Union Station has an underground walkway. There's unfortunately, usually it's closed. It was during COVID. It was locked. I don't know what it's doing now. But there's a door there that was exit only for a bit, and I could prop it, and people would the cop. There was a security guy that would unprop it. But there's an underground walkway from Union Station all the way to the Reunion Hotel. Each of these are direct accesses to those to that underground tunnel. Wait, I think those are the mini high platforms. The underground tunnel, those are the steps that go to the underground tunnel. There. These are elevators to the underground tunnel. Dallas Union Station has, while the tracks aren't all, I gotta go find where I was. I think I'm here. Nope. It's like the last photo in the batch. All right, whatever. The Union Station, it is like the tracks are still through numbered. So tracks 1 and 2 are used by DART. Tracks 3 and 4 are primarily used by TRE, and track 5 is the Texas Eagle track. In theory, Amtrak could use tracks 3 or 4, I think. They have, some hand throwing of switches would be involved. But the DART does not connect in any way with the mainline rail tracks at all. But they're still uniformly numbered. Yep. I also have been down to Westmoreland. The lower half of the DART is very interesting. I think it might have been the part that was built first. It was built. It's what makes it especially interesting is that it uses the third kind of DART signaling. It's not ABS. It's not the cab signals. It's called I think they call it controlled block, or hold on, I have it here in this other thing here. This is a sign. Line of sight territory. While you might think that that's exactly, it's like, are they just running on site? It's a little bit more involved than that. So yes, first off, trains are scheduled in a way that they're unlikely to run into each other. I believe that in line of sight territory, trains have to be scheduled, cannot be admitted to the line of sight absolute blocks beyond less than every like 5 minutes. Or it's scheduled to only have one train in the absolute block at a time. I forget which one it is. Even then, operators, they proceed at a speed where they can, be able to stop within sight of vision. And there's certain areas where there's limited visibility or limited sight lines where signals will be positioned that have limited. So you have a signal, and it's going to be red or yellow. Yellow is an approach block point, so there's basically a sign saying between that signal and this sign, you are approaching that sign. It just means that section of track around like a curve is clear. And if it's red, that means you gotta proceed expecting a train immediately ahead out of sight. But the yellow signal means that everything into the specific sign is going to be clear. And they use that for when there isn't nice straight sight lines. So a lot of these are on long, straight, sort of former interurban type things, they're all on former rail right of ways. I'm not sure if they were interurbans or not, or if they're just old freight routes in the Dallas zone. So again, here we have tracks 1 and 2, and then the 2 TRE tracks. Although one of them looks a little bit rusty here. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Although I think this was in the spring, you could still see that sort of ominous Dallas thunderstorm clouds. Although I think that April and May are big storm season in the area. It's not like East Coast where you tend to only pick that up in the later in the fall for the summer pattern. May and April are where you have a lot of that's tornado season. There's a bunch of these. This is like 198 one. Yeah. So here we again. For anyone who was here last time, there's the infamous JFK junction, and where is the opposite signal, and why is it marked? Why is it marked with an auto sign? But there's your semi-permanent JFK junction restricting signal. So everything coming in here is hand throwed. I think there's this is a power operated thing, so they might have a remote control for that. That's a hand throw. That might be. I'm not sure if Amtrak has to throw that or if it's spring. They have to throw it in at least one direction. Yeah, I'm sure they have to throw it. I don't know if they'd have to restore it though. There's your question. Here again is the Y track. So again, this was taken during my walk around Tower 106. One of the two towers there. The one by the assassination zone. One of them's Tower 106. One of them's Tower 107. They're both preserved, and I'm pretty sure they're owned by Tower 106. That's the Y track. Today, this is the one complaint I have about. I mean, it's mildly inconvenient, or was mildly inconvenient, specifically for me when I used to have to stay at that the Hyatt Regency Dallas. That to get there from Love Field, you had to pull in and change trains West End Station to go one more stop down to Union Station in the hotel, which was really irritating. Okay. Looks like I might have pulled one of the Union Station photos and moved that to the other one. That wasn't a DART related. So this is the 6N signal at NW interlocking. I assume that stands for Northwest. Dallas is one of those cities where its cardinal orientation does not match how it feels. You think that Union Station is pure west when it's kind of not. Well, I guess it kind of is west. What is it? I don't know. Oh, sorry. You think that that you're going west when you're really going north, because that's the way the railroad goes. Like you think you're departing Union Station and you're heading west towards California, but you're going north. And that's why there's North Junction, and while the old Dallas sub makes a 90-degree turn to actually go west, but I still get turned around really easily here at the Y. But again, the Y is Northwest Junction because it's kind of the northwest corner of the block, or the city block there. And this is the one. Despite the fact that they didn't have a lot of the cab signals in, you can see this has the stop or a directional arrow. At the time, the auto block ended at Dallas, so this was on some sort of line of sight, but they've since extended the auto block to up to NW Northwest Junction, or NW Northwest Interlocking. Just another picture here at NW Interlocking with an outbound blue line. Yeah, it's definitely way more dynamic today with 4 lines and the Super LRVs. Then we have trains passing here, and that's still today. I think I'm pretty sure that there's a meet point right around this zone. That the schedules for the blue and the red still have them pass here, but I'm not entirely sure of that. I'd have to remember. I mean, I have to verify that. Okay, I did crop that a little bit more aggressively. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive that Dart is a 600 volt or 750 overhead system, not a 1.5K. There's just very little insulators on there. I think that still need to rotate this a little bit more. That looks better. Well, sorry for the overtime, but I really wanted to get these done today. So we're gonna have one more batch of 10 photos, and that's gonna be it for now. Uh-oh, did I do? Uh-oh. There it goes. I might have forgotten to whatchamacallit the last time. Hold on. Alright, I'm just gonna go through and okay, I think I'm okay. Yep. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any. All right, there we go. All right, 10 left. And we'll see what people are saying about me in the chat. If we have any questions. All right. And our last 10 photos of the day and the last bunch of the Dallas stuff. About to kick off here. After this, I am going to be, I'll be looking in to see what I can do next time. So 1 second. I just need to indicate that these 6N photos are all having it show proceed. Okay. We'll see what we get around to next time. Might be the Chicago one. I've got a variety of stuff in the 2007 bin to do here. I can check to see if I have other situations of breaking up one large set of photos into a small set, where I've missed that, and then I actually don't have, because I usually try to save those really big sets, like I said, for Christmas or when I'm around. I think I'll have an opportunity in April to do like a 2 or 3 night set. But if I can break them down into something a lot more manageable, 1 night or 2 nights, then it's going to be more likely for me to do it during the just the regular when I'm around. So here we have this guy passing JFK Junction, number 203. So they don't start, the numbering doesn't start at 0. I think it starts at 100. So they have over 100 sets, vehicles here, which is a pretty respectable fleet. Plus what they were able to do with the capacity expansion. I don't think they run 3 cars. I'm pretty sure that they can only. I'm pretty sure they only run. They only run singles and doubles. It's not quite as bad as Sound Transit. And for anyone who's missing this stuff, who doesn't understand, who wants to see more on JFK Junction or the Union Station area, check out the previous. They should be available in my stream section on the channel. You can see where I talk about Union Station there. Dart 170 here at JFK Junction. This is where I told you can walk across the what they call, for those of you who know your JFK assassination lore, you can walk across the triple underpass. There's a pedestrian walkway that leads directly to. That doesn't lead directly, but it basically will bring you right into this locked gate, passkey gate into the parking lot of the Federal Building. But you can squeeze out there, and then you can walk on the other side of the Honorable Richard J. Dealey Plaza in those trees. It's very, I guess it's Texas. I don't know. It's nice that they provide that walkway, and then it just dumps you out into the woods, and you have to sort of hobble your way around. I don't know. I have no idea why it developed that way. This is a pretty nice angle on this. Also, remember JFK. A lot of the signals around this area, they are the GRS 1980s monoblock style or LNWs. Oops. There it is. Yeah, I don't know how so many of these got mixed up. And this is the other end of the walkway. The walkway is even lighted. I mean, it's just odd that they would build this. I mean, I guess the walkway went in with DART funds. I bet when DART went in, that was just part of the design to put a walkway there. And they never. They probably couldn't get the feds to give them a right of way to Union Station, so that was it. and it's just this orphaned, you know, passageway across the Honorable Richard J. Dealey Plaza. And this is coming up on West End. It's not that hard to walk from West End to Union Station. I mentioned that sort of annoying changing trains. That's one of those things. If you get in there, it's like a 15-minute wait. Like you might as well just walk to Union Station at that point. They're very close. At this point, it's the southern terminus of the Blue Line was at Ledbetter. I think there's a giant VA hospital or complex down there. Today, it goes to the University of North Texas. Whenever I see that, it's technically UNT, but every time I see it, I mentally put the I in there because I'm like a Doctor Who fan, so I think it says unit. But that's just a me problem. Ledbetter, there's Ledbetter, and they extended it 2 stops to UNT. Okay, Ledbetter is just a park and ride. The VA hospital is 1 up from that. So. So that Ledbetter destination, though, was... So the Blue Line has had both of its ends changed. Ledbetter is no longer the terminus on the south, and down Dinton Garland, or what is it? DWN. I can't pronounce DWNTN. Yeah, needs a vowel, but doesn't have one. There it is. What was I trying to say there? Yeah, just interesting that the Blue Line has had both of its terminals change, especially since I was there in 2007. All right, I'm just finishing this up right here. As I was about to say this, I was going to volunteer it, but I decided not to. But now I'm going to definitely talk about it. West End has always had a little bit of an issue. Of all the stations in Dart, West End is the skeeziest. And for a fairly important transfer station, I don't know what's going on there. You got to figure it all out. To use a better term, something about that. I mean, the area doesn't seem to be that it would be bad, but there's just something about it's like it's just like Howard Street in Baltimore. Like it's why would this transit zone near like a stone's throw from downtown be so skeezy? I don't know. There's just always people hanging out there. At least there is a lot of law enforcement presence. You don't get quite the overt panhandling and stuff, but there's I think the last time I went it had been cleaned up a bunch, but it wasn't like this is not COVID. This is 2007, and you can see the litter around, and then just people like living on the benches. And for all the crap that conservatives love to give San Francisco, Dallas definitely has its own issues. But again, I don't know why it's this location and not other ones. I don't think many other stations have the problem. I was gonna go look at the overhead. Is there like a shelter or something there? With all the brick, it looks like it's definitely been like the epicenter. I think it's probably just because it's the epicenter. So that's all. It's probably because they have a large bus depot there. So you have a lot of people that are transferring from bus to light rail. So there's just probably a place that people accumulate. Yeah, not sure. So this is that thing that I mentioned that they extended. Although they put in a lot of cab signaling. They did extend some ABS here in the what is it? The Union Station area. So if I was to be able to find, I think I can find a picture of this in here. If I roll down to my Union Station bit, I should have a photo of in and around Union Station. Where would that be? Because I've got West End photos. I know it's a minor thing. I just wanted to put up this one picture. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so this is beyond what have been the begin block. You can see a different sign on it, and the signals are a little bit different. I think they're US&S, but they look a little bit different. They added an additional auto block between here and the next the Northwest Junction. But as of 2007, that did not exist. You know what? I'm gonna get more in this because this features the Reunion Center. That's Dallas's old arena. That was later demolished to make way for the American Airlines Center or something. Let me get on that real quick. One second. Yeah, there's the old Reunion Center that was then demolished not long after this, like 2009. And then here we have the opposite one. These are suffixed, I said, with an R for reverse direction. So this signal is still here today. That sign is just not that. They actually put like a no trespassing sign on it. They took off the old begin block instead of removing the post. They put a nag on it. And our last photo is going to be this guy, which appears to be the M212, just the back of it. And where is that one located? There it is. Yep. And we have a picture of the full Union Station here with those nice little half-curved awnings. And that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you for those people who are here today, and for the rest of you who are here over my Christmas these were done over Thanksgiving. No, Christmas. For my whole 2007 Dart trip. Future things I'm going to be looking into is going to be, let's see what we got here. I'm not sure that's stuff. I did Brighton Park. I did the CTA stuff. The Lakeshore Limited one, that's 61. That can be 2 nights. Maybe I can clean it up a little bit. Try to get that down into 1 night. If I could dump a bunch of these photos, and these aren't all necessarily good, but it might be tough. I could try to get through this in 1 night. It would be a marathon, though. I could probably do it. All right. We'll look for that one at some point in the near future. And I think I'll have to see what else is going on with the rest of these. I have a bunch in the fall that I haven't done. All right. I think that's it. I'm going to let everyone go, and let me see if we have any more questions in the chat. All right. Hey, everybody have a nice weekend, and stay cool, or warm, or whatever else you're doing. Thank you so much for attending, and I will see you most likely. I'll have to see. We'll see when I can get it in, but some point soon. All right. Have a great night. Bye.